So it looks like I'm going to be introducing a video every day like this. Hey everyone, welcome to Nareen's Life with MS. This is Nareen and it's time for video number 300. It feels like it was only 50 days ago that I was doing video number 250. Wow, time does really fly when you count them out. But of course, bad jokes aside, I am so excited and of course very excited to try something new with this channel, which is to of course introduce every single video with a cold open. So let me know what you think of cold opens, and of course I know cold opens are more comedic effect, and I know for a fact that I'm not much of a comedian. So, yes, do let me know what best I can do to pretty much introduce every single video going forward. So, your comments, your insights, your thoughts are definitely very welcome, and it would be great to start a conversation with you. But of course, with all of that said, let's get started with what we're here for, which is Slowdown Saturday. And this Slowdown Saturday, I do want to say that I wanted this Saturday to be especially slow. I wanted to really sleep for a very long time. And for some reason, I have this habit of waking up at 5:29 a.m., which is an hour and a minute before when my alarm goes off. And of course, once I do wake up, I cannot go back to sleep. And so began my morning way too early, and then to really add salt to the wound, I tried napping in the afternoon, but I couldn't even do that. So just so happens that I am a little underslept today. But of course, considering that this is the last thing I am doing today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have at least a few hours of sleep after this. But of course, with that said, this is video number 300 and I did want it to be somewhat special. But the weird thing is that considering yesterday, or at least what was supposed to be yesterday, also turned out to be the 17th year that I was diagnosed with MS. That to think 17 years ago, 17 years and 1 day ago, I actually had the answer to so many things. I wanted to talk about, what slowing down meant, especially in the earlier years, simply because you can almost imagine that I was experiencing symptoms for 1 to 2 years, right? The first thing I remember was, I think I was in 10th grade, and I remember I don't know which class it was, but we were in the school library and we were balancing on one foot. And I distinctly remember I could do it with one foot, couldn't balance with the other foot. And I thought that was slightly odd, but I just left it over there, that okay, I can't balance on my left foot, I can do it on my right foot for some reason. And that was really just the smallest thought that I had. But after that, the one thing I remember, simply because the school had like these very nice staircases that I would love running down on. I stopped being able to run down on them, and there were even certain times where I could not walk down the middle of the staircase, even though I definitely felt that I had the balance. So those were some of the earlier things. So this was like, I want to say, 2007/8, and then I think we moved, and 2008 I started feeling the symptoms a lot more. Couldn't walk properly, couldn't run properly. My vision was going in my right eye. I mean, lots of things were happening. Of course, there was no way to really connect all of these things together. But, you know, because it was such an early time in my life, that once I got knowledge of what was happening to me and then got treated with steroids, and then you know regaining the ability to walk, I think the first few years I preferred not to slow down. I wanted to do as much that I could, not because I actually thought that I would lose some of these abilities, or these abilities would get a little late, but more so that for almost 1 to 2 years I did not have the experience of being able to do all of those things. Now, I was not back to what you can consider what I consider normal by any means, but at least I was able to feel the energy in my body. I was able to feel a much higher sense of balance. I definitely noticed that my reflexes got a little better. Again, not perfect, but just a little bit better. And suddenly I just wanted to do everything. I wanted to hike. I wanted to stay up late. I wanted to run. I wanted to swim. I wanted to do all of these things, all of these activities that had sudden at one point in time seemed almost um, impossible. And now that I kind of got the ability to have them again, I didn't want to back down from any of those things. And so I definitely would say that I did not want to slow down. I did not want to rest, especially in my early years, just because it was it was something that I felt I could not do, because I owed that to my body. So that's how I'd say the first few years, at least the first many years of having this condition, interacted with the concept of resting, the concept of slowing down. Because at that point in time, considering I got back the power again, I got back the balance, I got back the energy, I wanted to make sure I made full use of all of it. So I was definitely a lot more active at I definitely say the first few years of knowing I had MS, and getting at least that initial level of treatment. So that pretty much covers a history of slowing down, right? Because slowing down was something that I at least didn't believe in for, I want to say, a little bit of time. And then of course laziness did come into the picture, and then kind of went downhill. But I'd say that there was definitely some point in time where I just kind of remembered what my 10th grade French teacher used to tell me, which was that I'll have all the time to sleep in the world after I die. Before then, just take life by its horns and just ride it with as much energy as possible. So that covers what I think of history of slowing down, especially with MS. So please do share your thoughts, your insights, your experiences, so that we can get the conversation started. But of course, with all of that said, this is Nareen's Life with MS. This is my 300th video, and I am Nareen. And of course, I hope your weekend is going very well, because here I am wishing you a good night, sweet dreams, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.